Bzzz. Getting fried. Melbourne style. Boy, did they celebrate your big day today. They got all y'all gathering there celebrating somebody that took the money and ran, and they blasted you with a big EMF blast right over the tops of you. What a shame. What a shame. And good morning, folks. Afternoon, whatever time of day it is. It's over here. It's 11:25 a.m. on the 27th day, 9th month, 2023. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the totals on the fives and some on the tens, as I call these numbers. Yeah, the tens are looking not too good. Big Pinocchio tendril coming from the geoengineers there. Nothing new there. There's some more soakings for the thumb. Yeah, some heavy totals starting to show up. Expect those totals to rise. Yeah, the next 14 days as we head in towards the 6th and 7th of next month, you're going to see a big system bearing down on New Zealand again. And I'm not very happy to have to tell you that. So a tendril's being worked ashore over the next couple days. You know, you have a bit of a break up here now. It's just miserable and cold. And Nastito Bandito has showed up in the form of very frosty air. Some new snows to be expected in some of the higher uh, elevations here, and where some of the flooding has occurred this past week. Some more flooding is going to occur over the next 14 days, even. So I don't think it would be very nice to be over here or over here in Reefer Town. Normally, you might be happy to be in Reef Town, but I don't think so. And not right this way. Now, which way do these rivers run? Do they run this way? Or are they going to run into this crack over here? Not quite as big as the gash. That one over here would be more your gash. Interesting feature. Yeah, some very heavy totals beginning to start to show up again for over in here, and it's not good, not good at all. And what does that mean we're going to do? We're going to be vigilant, and we're going to be keeping an eye on things over here near Wankanaka. Yeah, because that totals could move on to this side at any time. So what that's telling me when I see totals on this is that they're going to keep high pressure here, and they're going to work a storm up the coast and do a wiper move where they take a tendril like something like that and pin it to the south and then just swing the whole sucker right on over. EMF cut that bastard here probably about the fourth and send the sucker straight on into the North Island again. And it's not good for you guys. But over the next few days, this is not good to be you guys either. And so we'll go over that a bit, and I'll show you this great big blast. And I mean, it was big, really big. Whammo! It's dramatic, isn't it? Take it down, let you timestamp it because people that are interested in that. Looks like it might be coming from up this direction here. All the pointings at it seem to be that direction, though. It is directly in line with Houston, Texas. In this area is here, well known. And has it triggered quakes? Oh, you know they're shaking. They're shaking, they're baking from Ecuador on up. The biggest one it triggered was over here at Mexico City, but I'm well aware that Nicaragua, since these stats have come up, have had some mid fours and fives. And over near there was Zaka and all that over here. Seems to be a break line. Like there was quakes here and then quakes north. So they've been shaking even all the way up into Acapulco, but they're not showing here. Because these big beams can induce earthquakes, and the pulse on this one was pretty dramatic. Actually, I'm looking for the stop vectors on this. Oh, this is the GIF. Yeah, I downloaded it. Yeah, we'll just kiss that goodbye and put it on. I'm gonna change. No, I'm gonna keep going right with this actually, because with this one here, I can show you the emanation point a bit better. In the two directions, they swept the beam. Right. You'll see quite a bit of action with this beam. Right. Initial nucleation point is coming from out here. And it's pointing right near Texas or Arecibo, possibly. Alright, we don't have a beam yet. And the time stamping would be, and that would be this. Before the quakes. I'm going to jump forward what looks like to be 1 hour jumps. 2. Trying to hold it in position. Right, we get the first ticklings of a beam as she's pointing right at Houston. Houston, you are the problem. Right, I'm going to call Houston as doing this. Well, they have all the facilities and all the equipment and all that. Yep, that's most likely Houston. Whammo. The rest of the beam fills in. Now you're going to want to watch here. It's going to go boom, boom, boom. Sets a reverb up real quick. Yeah, I see the pulse in the atmosphere that's going to show up maybe later today on Worldview. Boy, did that thing echo out this way. And it's going to have a big effect on this river of moisture here. Most of your forecasts are out the window here, and I'll tell you what that's going to do. That's going to shove this moisture straight up in through here into a corridor. Wham! As the back shock of this beam kind of oscillates back and forth between the ground emitting station and where the beam itself is intersecting the top of the atmosphere. And it moves on another hour and an hour, and then off she goes, man. You got a secondary. You might have a ship out here acting like a relay. That makes sense to get the beam around the equator. So you have a device here as well. Could be an SBX. If that's centered on Houston, then that'll be in U.S. Navy something out here. Yep. And they're sending some rain up in toward Florida in this direction here, so I'll be expecting to see some heavy totals coming from them, while a hurricane is buried down on England. And we have not been left out of the wonderfulness of the geoengineer's sights, so I'm going to roll this now for a moment. Let's see if we can get this to play. Start. I'm going to go back up there. And let's look at some of the manipulation of the moisture that's going on here today. And see if we can pull some comments up. Where is the EMF coming from? Houston, Texas on that particular one. It's not the ice cube detector that some people, the photons that flash inside this thing that's looking for neutrinos. So you straighten it out here. So Limerick Airport's probably blasted. Pin that storm in here where most of it's going to come ashore right through this path in here. Boy, if you're like in Londonderry or over on this coastal area here, watch out. And the strongest winds are going to be on this side. So places like Limerick and Wexford and these places along the coast in here, including Dublin. It's a picture where I was at, where I was pointing at that clock. It was at a national protest. So we definitely have a beamed up action here. There's a lot of weather manipulation going on. If you want to know where that ice cube detector is, it's almost down exactly right here. Wham. It could be part of the collector unit, but the initiating beam came from up top. Is CERN active? You'll have to ask. That will be your next question you'll ask. Is CERN active, and do we have space weather? Is CERN Vistars? We'll have a quick look. I don't know what's going on with CERN right this minute, so we'll have a quick look. Yeah, she's quite operational right now, blasting away, actually. Let's see if we can catch when their last beam dump was. I don't see nothing. Nothing. She's just pulsating. Oh, they had a hell of a smash. Yeah, they have had a successful smash. I mean, it looks like this one occurred today about and now just a few minutes ago. It isn't long ago that happened. About 2.5 minutes. Because they're 1 hour off us. They have had a successful smash. And so that's why it isn't awake right now. They'll have to reprime it. So Alana's going to be wide open now, making an anti-hydrogen. Excuse me a minute. Yeah, they're making packets of energy that can smash, and so now they've got to reload it. So yes, CERN's magnets are operational. Let's see if we can see what the beam is right now. Here. It's all still scattered. And that's again making any protein still. So they're not ready to load up again for a while. They got a lot of homework to do there. And then we'll go and have a look at a space weather dashboard. And we'll have a look at that. And do our basic determinants of are they going to have another solar mass ejection every day? Because no, that's not the one I want. Government contact. Have we had we've had a minor. Gee, that's awful regular X-ray tick, like a pulse. Is the CERN causing an electrolink to the sun that's measurable even on this graph? I think so. Let's see what happened. Let's see if we've had a little bit of a kick up here. Okay, so I'm just going to run this and see what occurs. You go down, you can see the whole thing. This is the sun. This is them lying to us with a bunch of Kubrick, gold brick, and kind of crap. Right here. There's your area of activity right there. And it's on the limb. Which, it'll be very dramatic. Let me see if we can get a step in this. I do enjoy watching stuff like that. Here she goes. She's all we're going to get at it. Okay, man, roll. Yeah, we do have a good bit of action going on here on the limb. A lot of tendrils of magnetics just snapping, and they're going way around the back of the sun, some of them. A lot of action right here. Gonna be Canbound look, eh? Now we have to look. Yeah, we do have a coronal hole facing us. That'll be putting a lot of energy toward us. We do notice earthquake risk upticks when some big ones of these are facing us. Hey, we got to call it off. Hey, but the big beam like that, emanating like that, and lasting that long, yeah, I'm sorry, the Earth's rotation doesn't last that many hours. You ain't gonna have this going on all day. Oh, that's another thing I'm gonna show. You know, if we go here and look at this beam, and we look at the times going by, you know, it's rotated the planet by then. You know, it's going around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's still going on. So this is the 24-hour feed. So therefore, it couldn't have been just facing the sun the whole time. So if that excuse they give it would be, I consider that a bold-faced lie. Yes, a pants and fire situation with the liars. So they're shoving the moisture up in here, and that's what we needed to know. Are there any obvious corridors here for New Zealand? I'm going to take you guys to a different area here. So we'll go with the domain. Stop teasing, Jermaine. Test to the domain. All right to the domain. Here we go. Let's see if we can nail down the corridors for the rains that are going to go south to Brisbane. Yeah, that line is still there. It looks like you got two tendrils, actually. You're going to have some rain through here. You're going to have a little rain through here that has to stop because of the beam that's come down through here. We know about the big blaster that came on through here, right? Because that's showing you right here that has occurred. Mighty hexagonal in there, isn't it? Nothing to see here, folks. So yeah, the Prime Minister, take the money and run. Boo, boo, boo. The WEF, he's got his number. Hey, look at this crap here coming down. Boom. Big old blast for your ass. What a fucking shame to do that to all those nice people and do nothing wrong. So let's see what we can pick up here from Auckland and them. Yeah, the blaster's on through here. Cook Strait is blocked with EMF. It's obvious. You can see that. Ooh, that didn't mean that to happen. It happened anyhow, so here we go anyways. So let's see what I can read here. Got a straight line corridor here. That explains why all your rains just stopped and went that way. There's a fold move going on there. Earthquake risk is high here. That means the cold flow is going to come up here, head to some snows. as you'll have that pocket in there where it'll be more susceptible, and then that'll mix up here. You have a pulse here just showing up, going off the coast here. Just see it right here. Just picked it up. That there. That's a pulse. A weather manipulator. See, everything should be curving in this direction, and that's punching that. Pow! So that has a tendency to go into that, and if the dynamics are just right, that'll spin more in toward that, because that's moving faster, this is slower. It's kind of like when your bowling ball meets that bolt. It's going to start to spin, and it's going to move somewhere in a predictable direction. And in a way, they make those conveyors right here in front of your eyes. Does every storm here look like the eye of Ra? And that'll be the right eye, yeah. You see these manipulation marks here pointing straight on out to sea? See that line right there? That's EMF. That's a beam. It's a beam sweat. And is it showing up over here? Over here, over there. There we go. We'll zoom in on that and let it just run its thing. But I could do a bit of a zoom bit on this while it's going. Definitely the heavy lines of range are following in that corridor here. Why didn't this range just move north? You know, that line as it came here should have split that. And there should be flows on both sides of this mountain range. But the EMF line that you see showing up right in here said, no, you're not. And all the momentum of that is stopped. And that's why you're getting such heavy falls from them condensates over there. It looks like an absolute shitstorm. And when you see what they did in the straits here, you see evidence of an EMF convergence line here where flows change. Boom, 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 plum, 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 boom, 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 plum, plum, plumbing you, boom, boom. Boy, have it, Hawks. Boy, are they flying with the chem over Hawks Bay? Boom, boom, boom. There with streamers pointing right toward that spot. Right there, another chemical attack going on over my window. Poisoning the land, burning the eyes of the ancestors in the hulls. What a fucking shame. How disrespectful can you get? Let's just cut the forest down and let it sit there. Yeah, no wonder your houses are getting battering rammed. Yep. Well, the prime minister you had, their policy was so corporate. When they say God you trust on the dollar bill, you see the all-seeing eye, which guy are they talking about? I don't trust the government. Think I'm going to trust their money? Well, damn sure don't trust what they're doing with it. Look at this crap here. These philanthropists are out here poisoning your sky. Bill Gates has polluted your asses with his funding. Billions of dollars plus to poison the sky. Dumb ways to die if you go along with that guy. He wants to camp on the air from here to here and everywhere. I ain't kidding, this is nasty looking shardy skies here. You call that a center of a circulation, or would you just call this a shitstorm of chemicals of a guy that just wants to make money, if he is a guy? Hey, some people I think are just slime molds. The wiggly worms. Yep, and it got a wormy attitude. Look at that triple bomb right there. Boom, boom, boom right there. Have a nice equilateral triangle. Just not even dispersing. Look at the big V right here pointing at something. Pointing. It's pointing. Oh, and there's what the hell is that? Rotation marks there going on. How many directions are the wind straight into the spread eagle bomb? Oh, even Kathy Rigby on a good day could have bent over as sideways as that thing just went. Again, how many directions of the wind are in this one spot? Why are all these clouds pointing at this little dot? Why do we allow these rich fuckers to ruin our lives? Why do we not all say as one? No more, no more! I am not the system's whore. Now look at all this chemical attacks here over. This is Byron Bay, the easternmost mainland point of Australia, and you see the triple barm. You're right in a straight line. It's almost like like one of their fires, and they seem to be doing the same kind of look. I'll let this run a minute. I'm getting wound up. I have to have some kind of a refreshment. When he says coughing is a constant everywhere. Mm-hmm. We got constipated justice. Squanto for us. The system is so full of shit stepped up. And we feed that system. We vote for it. We say, yeah, okay, every 4 years in the United States, yeah, let's go along with it, a lesser evil again. Still electing an evil. No more, no more. Well, I beat the system's heart. Now, this bloom is staying in place. This is a prime example of what you would expect to see when they're doing their marine cloud brightening, when they're spraying stuff up in the air from these things you would think they used to make snow or something, or blow chemicals and poisons around like pesticides. Yeah, if you see what I'm talking about, if you just go over to your Google and say marine cloud brightening, Great Barrier Reef, and take you through these programs here. What is marine cloud brightening? And you'll see some pictures of some diabolical looking things. And I'm going to pop you a link, so you can educate yourself a little bit about how they go about sometimes putting moisture in the air. Because, man, when this one of these boats is around, you're going to be beyond moist. I mean, really, it's just spraying stuff up in the air. Stop, stop. Yeah, that fish looks a bit bleached there. How does it work? Look at all the EMF here. And they talk about what you're going to expect to see. They form over erosions and they give you their crap. And we need some funding now to spray you like a bug. Yeah, the Sims, all right. Sydney Institute of Marine Science. And I want to know what's in them barrels. I want to know why all these things are covered up so the public can't even see what's in these containers. Containers. And this boat, God only knows what's in these chemicals. These people might be told it's one thing and it's another, and then they're going to get studied. And for the malaises they might be developing and the cancers they develop, and these things don't look very fun. And I'm not going to put too any sound to this. I just want to see if we could catch the spray. Here it is. There's the thing. The Fart Master 75,000. Poison in the reef. Putting up clouds of crap. Here's a guy, yeah, probably poisoned enough yet today. You know, dude, you're chem bombing my ocean. And this dude here is getting paid to do it. And I have a question. I wonder how his health felt that whenever he was in one of them plumes. Would he ever admit to his health? Hey, look, a drone. And to monitor something, to monitor the plumes. So they could study how to make them, how you could predict them. And they're making stuff a lot thicker than that shit you're sewing there. I am sorry, when you show plumes that are going to end up like this, that I showed you a moment ago, it's bad. And the images they're showing is horrendous. It was a little bit thicker there. It looks a little bit thicker there. Right, it's definitely blocking some sunshine. Oh, that was like Cheech and Chong's yacht. That Snoop Dogg out there on the ocean? Come on, they showed you this little itty bitty thing in their advert, but it's kicking out. What's up with these rackety looking things? What could come out of all those little holes? Are they ionizers, perhaps? Are they putting charged particles as well into the sky? You better fucking believe it. And well, that's just not a little bit of spray coming out here from this cloud brightening project picture here. Here's a video you could feel if you want to induce vomiting. And I want to know what's in those barrels. And I want them independently checked. I don't believe what's written on the side of the barrels from a bunch of people. A baboon of Congress, barrel full of monkeys kind of fucking politic we got going on. So let me roll the tape here, what they fucking say is going to happen, because I'm getting upset and my Tourette side's kicking in and I'm going to start swearing. Hey, so have a good luck. Over the next 3 days, you'll expect to see some heavy showers popping up along the coast roads of Australia between Sydney and probably just right there around West Rocks. And you're going to see a split in the flow around Brisbane because the beams said so. Mm-hmm. And we showed you those beams yesterday. And they're still blasting. Mm-hmm. And the flow hits that top side there north of Brisbane, kicks some showers Harvey Bay's way. They definitely needed a bit of rain. But New Zealand, you could use a bit of sunshine. The only ray you need is a ray of sunshine. A tendril hits Tassie and just parks there because you got to keep that area ever so moist so when they're moving stuff across, that island doesn't gobble up the moisture. Water's the new gold. And well, so would your land. Ain't no land like the one you got. Oh, nothing and be happy. I think they spell crappy wrong. Crappy's not spelled with an H. There you go. Here's a bit of a whip around for you guys. You're on the 29th. Have it again. This is when you'll pick up some fair totals, probably about 6-7 centimeters in most areas of that island. And some can expect around the 10s when you get up near the thumb. Yeah, time. I don't think it's a plum he pulled out, and I wonder sometimes where that thumb has been. Yep, it's your politicians. Woo, took the money and run. Whoo. Oh, dear with the WEF. Nah, he won't do too well there because a lot of the conference centers have more than 2 stairs at a time, and we would have to go down. Right, and again, as you headed through the weekend, I'm expecting a slammer to be hitting you right around here. Yeah, that's around when I'm worried. Yeah, and I'll be in the air on the 7th, so that's when I start my journeys and get my way self headed towards you guys, and I will come visit you guys. I think the first place I'm going to go over here is right near the beak. I want to go see the beak. Though I got to get there first. It very well might involve this place here and there, or this place here and there. But I already know what's happening with that road. So it's a bit fubario. So I might have to get a friend of mine in a walker to take me across here. Boy, that'd be a hell of a memory to have. Oh, it'll be your chance. Anyways, and as we head into the next week, as this thing is going to come along and turn into a spinning system they're going to then manipulate into the wiper or smackaroo. Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? And just roll that Swiss roll of crap ass clap right over the top. And the pressures will be decent. The winds will be decent. But not half as bad as what we're going to go through here in England over the next couple of days. Right? And so you can expect these totals are going to get quite high. What you're seeing here on these 10s ain't squanto. Right? Because this is going to be over. Right? You're going to say goodbye to this in a couple of days. Right? That'll have already happened. And everything else you're going to pick up is more. Yeah, so if I say about 3 days from now, you'll start to see the totals of what's going to hit you by the 9th. And I imagine you're going to be sitting in the 25s and the 30s. And inundation of here again. And inundation of here again as we go to Arthur's Pass. He's not past the attention of the geoengineers yet. And so you're going to use great vigilance, and I'll keep you as best conformed as I can. But when I'm traveling, that's all, folks. For at least 24 hours till I get internet hooked up. All right. So now I said I'm going to have a quick look at the UK because it's important. And boy, are we getting fucked today. Geez, are we going to get hammered. Hey, so I'm going to go right to it. Hey, we got a hurricane hitting us. We're being impacted by it like right now. Look at these winds out here to sea. They're very heavy. So it's already started to calm some of its winds down. But when she hit, she was hitting at about 85 miles an hour. I was watching. Well, I'm going to have to bring this to something I'm more familiar with. To the MIP. Yeah, that is hurricane strength. That is 1 mile an hour below hurricane strength. That's not hurricane strength. It's just dropped below hurricane strength now. 73 is not a hurricane. We don't add a mile an hour to make things work. But when it came ashore, it was a hurricane. And they didn't call it that. Hurricanes are determined by wind strength. But that right there is hurricane strength. It is going above 73 to 75. So these islands out here in some parts of the country are going to be impacted by hurricane strength winds. Where I'm at here, you can already see it starting to blow a bit, but it isn't quite bad yet. And it's going to move through rather quickly. through the day today. But the backside of the storm is also going to wreak absolute havoc through Scotland as it compresses through some of these mountainous regions over here. It's going to be quite dangerous. I'm not going to be surprised when some of the public transport gets canceled. Ferries, trains, bridges with high-sided vehicles like the fourth of Fifth Bridge. I absolutely know will close at some point to all traffic when this monster is coming over the top of us. This geoengineered absolute shitstorm. And how quickly is it over with for us here? I'll show you. And the winds is a huge part because we're going to be impacted by this storm over the next 3 or 4 days. Yeah, it's not making my roundup of getting everything out of here that easy. I said easy, not impossible. Yeah, it's just mailing a lot of stuff. Right, as it's moving along, the load trucks off very quickly. But it's this backside moisture over here that's going to moisten the berries of dingle. Over here in Ireland, there's dingle over here. Oh, come on, I couldn't resist the moistening of the berries of dingle. Right? If anybody has got the Blarney gift, it would be a politician. Yeah, yes, that's very heavy tolls are going to come through here, guys. You guys are really going to be blaming the leprechaun for a whole lot of shit. Blame the English. It's the English fault. It's the king's birthday. Look what they did for the king's birthday. They had a sacrifice. Whammo. And who else would make them happier to fuck over than the Irish, right? It seems to be just a theme of life. When the English fuck the Irish. We're not talking them getting the UK part. No, all this just impacted the Free Republic of Ireland. And call it what it is. The Free Republic of Ireland. It's right. Been near Dunnet, shouted, screamed and hollered and carried on and pointed at chemtrails and screamed and hollered and carried on, and I'm still screaming and hollered and carrying on about the chemtrails that never seem to end. The no end trail of the chemtrails, burning up the guts of my entrails. Until someday, maybe with justice, the entrails of get seen of some other people. For a change, because I think we don't have today's data in yet for my side of the world. All I got is the crime scene from yesterday, and so I'll show you it. And a lot of sand have been brought into the equation from down in Africa. Yeah, there's a lot of EMF, and something came along in a line and deployed over near these Nazi lines, and they do not want you to see things. Yeah, N-O-T-S-E-E, the Nazis, Nazi skies. It was heard, it's not heard at all, though, to look over here by Kodiak and all that, and fucking hell, look at all these chemtrails. Chemtrail. They wrote, howdy ho, Mr. Hank, he's come to town, and he's in your wine. Yeah, what kind of wine would Mr. Hanky make? Would it be spunk or would it be junk? Only you could say over here at Tushy. Here's Tushy. Here, this guy looks like shit too over there at Tushy. My gosh. Look at the chemtrails. Wait till you see what's there. Amsterdam will look like Snoop Dogg's having a joint party. Oh, yeah. Go on over here. Hey, have a chemtrail here. Some cheese for your monster. Yeah. Would it spot the dragon out here breathing it up? Now, this is what it looks like when the gas chamber comes to you. And then somebody says he has to block the sun. On Pappenberg. My gosh. And the sky will look like Hunderscheis over Wolfsburg. And they sell over here. Seashells, and bam, all y'all's asses. What a fucking shame. Yeah, I'm running out of patience. I'm running out of the ability to describe this sanely. Without screaming, hollering, carrying on, jumping up and down, holding my breath till you turn blue, because that's the freshest air you're going to fucking get underneath this actually toxic-ass fallout shit. You know, where Pippi Longstocking lives over here in Sweden, and all the Stockholm Syndrome of the world is sold. The mind control frequencies frying up all their brains. And your sky is a big old number 2. Because Bill Gates has dropped a deuce on you. Hey, Greta, what the fuck is up with this shit? Heads on fire much? When are you gonna talk about the chemtrails? Or is all you concerned about is the entrails? And to the special clubs you get to join. The trail to this and the trail to that and the trail to glory has nothing to do with your riches in your wallet if you're poisoning all the life in this beautiful sea out here. All your money in the world you will not take to the grave. But you're taking things to the grave, people that are funding this. You put other things in the grave. You're stepping on the heads of all life on this planet, our oppressors are, that are funding this stuff. On this plume, I've never been able to figure out what fire is continuously causing this plume. Because there are none. So therefore, what the hell has been deployed in my sky over this part of the ocean? I am not understanding this at all. This is not a sandstorm. This is not a fire. Something terrible has been deployed. It's not a volcano kicking off. Because I did look. I am not understanding. This one has upset me very, very much. I don't know what's in the sky here. This one is a mystery to me. And I'd like to have acid readings taken. I'd like the mist in the morning collected on dishes and let that get tested. We have got to figure out what's in this. You don't see no fire showing up here, but there's plenty showing up when the fire's here, and it's not kicking off enough smoke to have done this. It didn't kick off enough the day before. There is no fire centered over here that could have done this. Nothing. It's fresh smoke. It's continual. It was centered over these islands over here at one point where no fires were listed. They have put something in our sky unlike anything I have ever seen. It's not coming from this fire here. Yeah, this dodgy fire, actually. It is very dodgy. There's a lot of straight line rows here. Row, rows, row, 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 you hoes. No more, no more, no more! Well, you treat our mother like a whore. Just because some people want a whore. Now, you might say there's some smoke from a fire here. That whole thickness ain't going into that plume. That ain't that. Something else is going on. They've sprayed something over the polar regions, maybe to melt ice. It could be a de-icer. God only knows what they've done in our skies over the North Polar regions, over Canada, over the Yukon, over Santa Claus's reindeer. The naughty list ain't fucking got a punishment. The coals you get are in hell for doing that, and I gotta say, I can't describe this another moment. This is how many deaths there are, how many fires there are in the world. This is how much of the outback of Australia is absolutely frizzling, burning, creatures screaming. Does space look familiar to you yet? See it yet? See the grid? See the predictable lines of the neighborhoods? See the new smart roads? See the new smart city? You see yourself in it yet? You see yourself saying no more, no more? Or are you just a whore? Are you just one more fryer in the big frying pan? And I'll tell you what, the stuff they've learned to do, the stuff they do to you now. Oh, I'm absolutely livid. You see what they did? You see what they're doing here? You see what they did here? You see what they did over here? You see what they did to you over here? You see what they're planning on doing to you? And I told you the colors that all those years ago. I meant it. And I gotta tell you the colors not just on. It's here. And I think it's avoidable. We gotta remember the answer is we. And they're taking a we all over New Zealand, and that's all I could take today. You guys watch out, see some heavy totals beginning to start to show. Hey, for the Melbourne area and the 10s. From the nothings to the septens. So we're gonna have a good look at this later on. Gosh, this is hard to do all this thing. Stay safe, big love, peace.